Hello, and thanks for joining us. We're going to look at how K2 cybersecurity can help enhance the vulnerability detection and reporting from Tenable.io web application scanning, better known as WAS. With K2, you'll get better telemetry with detected vulnerabilities. For example, if Tenable.io's WAS detects an SQL injection vulnerability, K2 will corroborate the finding and provide additional details, including the file name in the application that has the vulnerability and the line of code that has that specific vulnerability in that file name. In addition, K2 can find significant hidden vulnerabilities that can be missed by the vulnerability scanner. With that, let's see how this works. First, let's take a look at why we care about vulnerabilities in code. We want to find as many vulnerabilities during DAST and penetration testing during pre-production as possible. The reason for this is because there are more vulnerabilities than ever being released in code to production than ever before. If you look at 2019, over 17,000 new vulnerabilities were discovered and reported to the US CERT Vulnerability Database, a record high. In 2020, for the first half of the year, we've already exceeded 10,000 recorded vulnerabilities, and we're on track to beat last year's record number. If you look at web applications themselves, it's estimated an astounding 82% of them have a serious or critical vulnerability. And all web applications have at least one vulnerability. If you look at why that's the case, there is the drive to get applications to production much more quickly. And in order to do that, many organizations have resorted to using third-party code, legacy code, and open source code in their applications. Up to 70% of applications have third-party code, which means no matter who you are, you probably have a vulnerability in your application. And no matter how well protected you are vulnerable to an attack. And we see that over and over again in high-profile breaches that make it to the news. If you're already using a DAST or penetration testing tool, you may already have some pain points that you are experiencing. These are a few that we've heard about from our customers. You may be experiencing false positives from your testing tools, that there are vulnerabilities being reported that are false. It would be great to have a way to determine which of the reported vulnerabilities are false positives. You could also have missed vulnerabilities, meaning you still have vulnerabilities that make it to production from your code. Testing tools need to find more vulnerabilities during your test cycles. And finally, when you do get reported vulnerabilities from your tools, there's a lack of detail on the vulnerabilities, increasing the amount of remediation time needed to resolve the problem. Getting more information on the vulnerability would help in reducing the amount of time needed for remediation. K2 Security Platform actually has two use cases. First, the one we're talking about here in this quick overview video using K2 during pre-production to enhance vulnerability testing, including the ability to provide additional detail around discovered vulnerabilities and the ability to find significant otherwise missed vulnerabilities. Our other use case is runtime protection for web applications running on production servers. The main topic of this video is to talk about our relationship with Tenable.io's web application scanner. We do have a partnership with Tenable in which we work with Tenable to produce an integrated report with Tenable.io WAS, which provides both Tenable's results correlated with K2's results, which include the additional detail on the found vulnerabilities, including a listing of additional discovered vulnerabilities found by K2. You can find us on Tenable's partner page. We've shown you a screenshot of our listing on Tenable's partner page here. If you look at the individual reports generated by K2 and Tenable, you can see here the report generated by Tenable.io WAS discovering an SQL injection vulnerability. K2 can provide additional information, including node, application, and container information. K2 also finds and reports on the file name with the vulnerability along with the line number in the code with the vulnerability for quicker remediation. And finally, K2 also provides the full HTTP information sent by the attack. And because we have a partnership with Tenable, we also provide an integrated report combining these two individual reports to make reading and understanding the results of the testing much easier. We do this using the Tenable API, using a tool provided by K2. In this report, you can see there were a total of 6 high-risk critical vulnerabilities found by both K2 and Tenable combined. 4 were found by both K2 and Tenable, while an additional 2 were found by K2 alone. We do provide a summary page showing this information, including the vulnerable URLs and the associated vulnerabilities for each of the URLs. We also provide detail pages on each of the discovered vulnerabilities. In this case, you can see the summary information provided by Tenable and the detailed information provided by K2, including the file name and line number in code of the discovered vulnerability. On this page, we see a detail page on a vulnerability that was found by K2, but Tenable did not detect this vulnerability, an SQL injection vulnerability. Once again, we provide the file name and line number in code to help remediate this vulnerability quickly. We can also help you identify false positives during your DAST and penetration testing. For example, during your testing, if K2 does not see the vulnerability, in this case cross-site scripting found by the testing tool, it's a good indication that this may have been a false positive. This gives you a quick indicator to verify the vulnerability and to determine if it may in fact be a false positive. That's the quick introduction to how K2 helps enhance Tenable.io's WAS testing. Please note, for more information on how our technology works, please watch our YouTube video on deterministic security. For other information related to K2, you can visit our YouTube channel, and you can visit our website at k2io.com to find out more about how we can help with your DAST and vulnerability testing, along with your runtime application security needs. Thanks for your time.